Detaching from someone is one of the hardest yet most empowering choices you can make in life. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a draining friendship, or an environment that no longer serves your growth, the act of silently stepping away isn't about them, it's about reclaiming you. Silence is not weakness, it's strength. It's a declaration that you value your peace more than you crave their approval. When you detach without noise or explanation, you're not seeking revenge or validation. Instead, you're choosing to preserve your dignity, to prioritize your mental and emotional health. Remember, not every battle needs to be fought loudly. Some are won in quiet resolve. Why silence holds power. Silence is a shield. It protects you from unnecessary confrontation and drama. When you detach silently, you give yourself the chance to heal without external interference. There's immense power in walking away without making a spectacle. You're teaching yourself a lesson. Your energy is too precious to be wasted on people who don't reciprocate or respect it. Detachment doesn't mean you're cold-hearted or indifferent. It means you're wise enough to recognize when to stop pouring into a cup that never fills. It's understanding that sometimes the best response is no response. Silence is your tool for self-preservation, and it ensures that you focus on rebuilding yourself rather than destroying someone else. How to detach without losing yourself. The key to silent detachment lies in self-awareness. You need to know who you are and what you stand for. When you're secure in your identity, leaving someone behind doesn't mean losing a part of yourself. Instead, it becomes an opportunity to rediscover who you truly are. Silence is a profound and underestimated form of strength. When you decide to detach from someone silently, you're making a bold statement without uttering a single word. It's an act of inner resolve that doesn't seek validation, applause, or understanding from others. In a world where noise often equates to power, choosing silence demonstrates an incredible level of self-control and maturity. It's a declaration that you value your peace, your mental stability, and your emotional well-being more than you value the temporary satisfaction of confrontation or explanation. When you decide to detach silently, you're not running away from the situation. Instead, you're walking away with purpose. You're choosing to protect your inner peace from further disturbance. This silence isn't about weakness or avoidance. It's about recognizing that not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in letting go without a fight. It's in knowing that your worth isn't tied to someone else's perception or approval. Silence allows you to reclaim your power in a way that words often cannot. Silent detachment requires immense courage. It's not easy to step back without defending yourself, explaining your reasons, or seeking closure. Our natural instinct is often to voice our grievances, to make our pain understood, or to gain some semblance of justice. But in choosing silence, you rise above the chaos. You decide that your peace of mind is more important than being understood. This choice isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending you don't care. It's about directing those emotions inward, using them to fuel your growth rather than wasting them on futile arguments. There's an elegance in silently walking away. It's a way of showing yourself in the world that you don't need to justify your decisions. The people who truly care about you and respect you won't require explanations. They'll understand your actions without needing a narrative. And for those who don't, no amount of words will ever be enough to change their perspective. Silence in this way becomes your shield. It protects you from unnecessary drama, from the endless cycle of blame and counter-blame, and from the exhausting task of trying to make someone see things your way. One of the most powerful aspects of silence is that it puts the focus back on you. When you detach noisily, your energy often gets tangled up in the situation you're leaving behind. But when you detach silently, you're able to redirect that energy inward. You give yourself the space to heal, to reflect, and to grow. Silence allows you to process your emotions on your own terms without the distractions of external reactions or opinions. It's a way of taking control of your narrative, of choosing how and when you'll address the pain of detachment. Silence also sends a message to the person or situation you're detaching from. It communicates that you're no longer willing to engage in a dynamic that doesn't serve you. It says, I've made my decision and I don't need your validation to uphold it. This can be a powerful realization for the other party. While they may initially be confused or even frustrated by your silence, they'll eventually understand that your choice is final. And in that understanding, they may begin to reflect on their own actions and the role they played in your decision to leave. But the power of silence isn't just in what it communicates to others, it's in what it does for you. Silence gives you the space to rediscover yourself. When you're caught in the noise of a toxic relationship or an unhealthy dynamic, it's easy to lose sight of who you are. Your thoughts become clouded by the opinions and expectations of others. But when you step back and embrace silence, you create the space you need to reconnect with your true self. You begin to hear your own voice again, to understand your own needs and desires. This process of self-rediscovery is one of the greatest gifts of silent detachment. It's a journey inward, one that allows you to reclaim your sense of identity and purpose. It's a chance to remind yourself of your worth, independent of anyone else's validation. Silence becomes a tool for self-reflection, a way to understand what led you to this point and what you need to move forward. It's in this quiet space that you begin to heal, to let go of the pain and resentment, and to replace them with self-love and self-compassion. Choosing silence also teaches you the art of letting go without bitterness. When you detach noisily, it's easy to get caught up in feelings of anger, resentment, or the need for closure. But silence allows you to rise above those emotions. It helps you to detach with grace, to walk away with your dignity intact. This doesn't mean you're suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It means you're choosing to process those emotions privately in a way that allows you to heal without adding fuel to the fire. Silent detachment also helps you to maintain control over your energy. When you choose silence, you're no longer giving your energy to someone or something that drains you. You're redirecting that energy towards yourself and the things that truly matter. This can be incredibly empowering. It's a reminder that you have the power to choose where your energy goes, and that you're no longer willing to waste it on situations that don't serve your growth. There's a profound strength in silence. It's a strength that doesn't rely on external validation or approval. It's a strength that comes from within, from knowing your worth and standing by it. When you choose to detach silently, you're making a statement that your peace is non-negotiable. You're showing yourself that you have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you, even if it's difficult. And in doing so, you're reclaiming your power, your peace, and your sense of self. In the end, silence isn't just about detaching from someone else. It's about reconnecting with yourself. It's about creating the space you need to heal, to grow, and to rediscover your true self. It's about choosing peace over chaos, self-love over validation, and growth over stagnation. Silent detachment is a powerful act of self-preservation, one that allows you to let go without losing yourself. And in the quiet aftermath, you'll find that the silence is filled with strength, clarity, and the promise of a brighter future. Self-awareness is the foundation of a meaningful and fulfilling life, especially when it comes to detaching from someone without losing yourself. It's the ability to truly know and understand who you are, independent of external influences. When you are self-aware, you possess a deep sense of your values, your boundaries, and what you stand for. This inner clarity empowers you to make decisions that align with your well-being, even in the most challenging situations. Without self-awareness, detaching from someone can feel like losing a part of yourself. But with it, you gain the strength and confidence to let go while remaining whole. Knowing your worth is an essential part of self-awareness. Too often, people stay in unhealthy relationships or dynamics because they lack a clear understanding of their value. They seek validation from others, believing their worth is tied to how someone else perceives them. Self-awareness breaks this cycle. It helps you recognize that your value is inherent, not contingent on anyone else's approval or affection. This realization is a game changer when it comes to detachment. You stop clinging to relationships out of fear or insecurity and start prioritizing your own peace and happiness. Being self-aware also means being honest with yourself about the dynamics in your life. It's about recognizing when a relationship or situation is no longer serving you. This can be difficult because it often involves facing uncomfortable truths. You might realize that you've been compromising too much of yourself, tolerating disrespect, or neglecting your own needs for the sake of someone else. Self-awareness forces you to confront these realities, but it also gives you the courage to act on them. It's the first step toward reclaiming your power and making the decision to detach. When you're self-aware, you understand the difference between attachment and connection. Attachment often stems from a place of fear or neediness. It's about clinging to someone because you're afraid of losing them or being alone. Connection, on the other hand, is rooted in mutual respect and genuine care. Self-awareness helps you identify whether your relationship is built on healthy connection or unhealthy attachment. If it's the latter, it becomes easier to see why detachment is necessary. You realize that true connection should enhance your life, not drain it. Self-awareness also helps you identify and uphold your boundaries. Boundaries are crucial when it comes to detachment. They define what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to lose yourself in a relationship, sacrificing your own needs and values to accommodate someone else. Self-awareness allows you to set these limits and stick to them, even when it's difficult. It's a way of protecting your sense of self and ensuring that you don't compromise your integrity in the process of letting go. Another aspect of self-awareness is understanding your triggers and emotional patterns. Detaching from someone can bring up a lot of feelings, sadness, anger, guilt, or even fear. If you're not self-aware, these emotions can overwhelm you and cloud your judgment. But when you're attuned to your inner world, you can recognize these feelings for what they are: temporary reactions that don't define you. Self-awareness gives you the tools to process your emotions in a healthy way rather than letting them control you. This emotional intelligence is key to detaching without losing yourself. Self-awareness also involves a deep understanding of your strengths and resilience. When you're aware of your own capabilities, you trust yourself to handle the challenges that come with detachment. You know that you have the inner resources to heal, to grow, and to thrive on your own. This confidence makes it easier to let go because you're not relying on someone else to fill a void or make you whole. Instead, you're secure in the knowledge that you can create your own happiness and fulfillment. Detaching from someone often requires self-reflection, another critical component of self-awareness. This involves taking the time to examine your thoughts, feelings, and motivations. Why are you holding on to this relationship? What fears or beliefs are keeping you from letting go? Self-reflection helps you uncover these deeper layers and address them. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary for true growth. Through this process, you gain clarity about what you really want and need, which makes it easier to make decisions that align with your best interests. One of the greatest gifts of self-awareness is that it allows you to detach without bitterness or blame. When you're self-aware, you recognize that detachment isn't about punishing the other person or proving a point. It's about taking care of yourself. You can let go with compassion, understanding that everyone is on their own journey and that it's okay to part ways when your paths no longer align. This mindset helps you move forward without carrying the weight of resentment or regret. Self-awareness also fosters a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the lessons you've learned. Every relationship, even the difficult ones, offers opportunities for growth. When you're self-aware, you can acknowledge these lessons without feeling the need to cling to the person who taught them to you. You can be grateful for the experience while also recognizing that it's time to move on. This perspective allows you to detach with a sense of closure and peace. Ultimately, self-awareness is what enables you to detach without losing yourself because it keeps you anchored in your own identity. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you're less likely to get lost in someone else's narrative. You're able to let go of what doesn't serve you while holding on to what truly matters, your values, your dreams, and your sense of self. Detachment becomes not an act of loss, but an act of self-preservation and self-love. It's a way of honoring who you are and creating the space for a brighter, more fulfilling future. Setting boundaries is a critical skill, especially when you need to detach from someone without losing yourself. Boundaries act as the invisible lines that define your emotional and mental space, ensuring that others respect your needs and values. When you establish clear boundaries, you take control of your interactions and relationships, protecting yourself from overreach, manipulation, or emotional harm. Boundaries are not about keeping people out, but about preserving the integrity of your inner world. They empower you to engage with others on your terms and prioritize your well-being. Creating boundaries begins with recognizing your limits. Every individual has their emotional thresholds, and understanding yours is the first step toward effective boundary setting. This requires introspection and self-awareness. What behaviors make you uncomfortable? What situations leave you feeling drained or undervalued? Identifying these triggers helps you determine where to draw the line. Boundaries are not universal, they are deeply personal and reflect your unique needs and experiences. Once you know your limits, you can start articulating them internally at first and then outwardly when necessary. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being harsh or unkind. On the contrary, boundaries are a form of self-respect and a way to foster healthier relationships. When you communicate your boundaries clearly and calmly, you're not rejecting the other person, but rather expressing your need for mutual respect. For example, you might set a boundary around how much time and energy you can invest in a relationship. This is not about punishing the other person, it's about ensuring that your own needs are met. By doing this, you create a dynamic that's healthier for both parties. Enforcing boundaries requires consistency. It's not enough to set a boundary, you must also uphold it, even when it's challenging. People may test your limits either intentionally or unintentionally, and it's your responsibility to reaffirm them. This doesn't mean you have to be confrontational or aggressive. Often, a simple reminder or a shift in your own behavior is enough. For instance, if someone repeatedly crosses a boundary you've set, you might choose to reduce the time you spend with them or limit the topics you discuss. These actions reinforce your boundaries without unnecessary conflict. Boundaries are also a form of protection when you're detaching from someone. They help you avoid being pulled back into unhealthy dynamics or cycles. Without boundaries, it's easy to fall into old patterns of overgiving, overexplaining, or overextending yourself. Boundaries act as a safeguard, ensuring that you don't compromise your own well-being in an attempt to maintain a connection that no longer serves you. They provide a structure that allows you to move forward while keeping your sense of self intact. One of the challenges of setting boundaries is dealing with guilt or pushback. You may worry that setting limits will hurt the other person or cause tension in your relationship. These fears are natural, but they shouldn't deter you from prioritizing your needs. It's important to remember that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding. If someone genuinely cares about you, they will honor your boundaries, even if they don't fully understand them. And if they don't, It's a sign that the relationship may not be as healthy as it should be. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they're also about saying yes to yourself. By setting limits, you create the space and time you need to focus on your own growth and happiness. This is especially important when you're detaching from someone, as the process can be emotionally taxing. Boundaries ensure that you have the resources, mental, emotional, and physical, to heal and move forward. They allow you to channel your energy into activities and relationships that uplift and inspire you. Boundaries are not static, they evolve as you grow and change. The boundaries you set today may look different a year from now, depending on your circumstances and needs. This flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. It means that you're continually reassessing your priorities and making adjustments as needed. Detaching from someone is a dynamic process, and your boundaries should reflect that. As you gain more clarity and confidence, you may find that certain boundaries become less necessary while others need to be reinforced. The act of setting boundaries is empowering because it puts you in control of your life. Instead of reacting to others' demands or expectations, you take the initiative to define how you want to be treated. This shift in mindset is crucial when detaching from someone. It allows you to focus on what you can control, your own actions and decisions, rather than trying to change or fix the other person. Boundaries are a reminder that your energy is precious and should be spent wisely. Boundaries also help you build stronger relationships in the long run. While they may create friction initially, they ultimately lead to healthier, more balanced dynamics. When people know your boundaries, they're less likely to unintentionally hurt or overstep you. And when you consistently enforce your boundaries, you show others that you respect yourself. This sets the tone for how you expect to be treated, attracting people who value and honor your limits. One of the most liberating aspects of boundaries is that they free you from the need to please everyone. Detaching from someone often involves letting go of the fear of disappointing or upsetting them. Boundaries help you realize that you can't control how others react to your choices. What you can control is how you protect your peace and prioritize your well-being. This realization is a turning point, allowing you to detach with confidence and clarity. In setting boundaries, you also set an example for others. Your actions demonstrate the importance of self-respect and emotional health. You show that it's possible to care for someone while also prioritizing your own needs. This can inspire those around you to reflect on their own boundaries and take steps to protect their well-being. In this way, your decision to set boundaries becomes a ripple effect, promoting healthier relationships and interactions for everyone involved. Ultimately, boundaries are about honoring yourself. They are a declaration that your feelings, needs, and desires matter. When you set and uphold boundaries, you send a powerful message to yourself and others: I value myself enough to protect my peace. This mindset is crucial when detaching from someone, as it ensures that you don't lose yourself in the process. Boundaries give you the strength to let go with grace and the confidence to move forward with your sense of self intact. Emotional discipline is a cornerstone of detaching from someone without losing yourself. It's the ability to regulate your emotions, stay calm under pressure, and make thoughtful decisions rather than reacting impulsively. When emotions run high, it's easy to get swept up in feelings of anger, sadness, or fear, which can cloud your judgment and lead to actions that you may later regret. Emotional discipline empowers you to navigate these challenging moments with clarity and self-control, ensuring that your detachment is intentional and not driven by raw emotions. Practicing emotional discipline begins with recognizing and accepting your emotions. Detachment can stir up a wide range of feelings: grief over what you're letting go of, anger about how things unfolded, or even guilt about prioritizing your needs. But these emotions are valid, but they don't have to dictate your behavior. Emotional discipline allows you to acknowledge these feelings without letting them consume you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, reflect, and respond in a way that aligns with your long-term well-being. One of the key aspects of emotional discipline is learning to create space between feeling and action. Emotions are fleeting, they come and go like waves, but if you act on them without pausing to think, you risk making choices that aren't in your best interest. For example, when you feel hurt or betrayed, your first instinct might be to lash out or seek revenge. Emotional discipline helps you resist these impulses. It encourages you to take a step back, breathe, and evaluate the situation objectively. This moment of reflection can prevent unnecessary conflict and help you stay focused on your goal of detachment. Another critical element of emotional discipline is letting go of the need to control others. When you're emotionally tied to someone, it's natural to want to influence their behavior or decisions, hoping they'll change or see things your way. But this desire for control is often a source of frustration and disappointment. Emotional discipline involves accepting that you can't control anyone else, you can only control your own actions and reactions. This shift in perspective frees you from the burden of trying to manage someone else's behavior, allowing you to focus on your own growth and healing. Emotional discipline also involves setting realistic expectations. When detaching from someone, it's easy to fall into the trap of expecting closure, understanding, or validation from the other person. While these things can be helpful, they're not always guaranteed. Emotional discipline helps you let go of these expectations and focus on what you can give yourself. You realize that closure isn't something someone else provides, it's a decision you make to move forward, regardless of external circumstances. A powerful tool for developing emotional discipline is mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, you can observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Mindfulness teaches you to approach your feelings with curiosity and compassion rather than judgment. For instance, if you feel a surge of sadness while detaching from someone, mindfulness helps you acknowledge the feeling without labeling it as bad or trying to push it away. This practice creates a sense of emotional balance, making it easier to handle the ups and downs of the detachment process. Another key element of embracing the process of letting go is self-compassion. It's easy to fall into self-blame or self-criticism when a relationship ends, especially if the detachment process feels messy or painful. However, it's important to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. You are not a failure for letting go, and the end of a relationship does not diminish your worth. Self-compassion means acknowledging that you are doing the best you can in a difficult situation and that you deserve peace and happiness. Being gentle with yourself during this time allows you to heal more quickly and develop a healthier, more positive relationship with yourself. As you embrace the process of letting go, you begin to see that it's not about losing someone, it's about gaining something more valuable yourself. By releasing the grip that the relationship has on you, you reclaim your energy, your time, and your emotional space. Letting go creates room for new opportunities, new people, and new experiences. It's a powerful act of self-liberation that allows you to grow, evolve, and move forward with strength and resilience. Letting go also helps you rediscover your own identity. Often in relationships, we can lose sight of who we are as individuals, becoming so wrapped up in the connection that we forget our own needs, desires, and passions. When you let go, you have the opportunity to reconnect with yourself and rebuild your sense of identity. This is a time to focus on your personal goals, your passions, and what truly brings you joy. Letting go frees you from the expectations or roles you may have played in the relationship and allows you to be fully yourself again without compromise or limitation. Embracing the process of letting go is also about learning to trust the journey. Although the process may feel uncertain or painful at times, you must trust that it's leading you to where you need to be. The end of one chapter in your life often makes way for a new, more fulfilling chapter. Trusting that this is part of your growth and evolution helps you approach the process with hope and optimism. Even when the path ahead is unclear, know that by letting go, you are moving closer to the life you are meant to live. Ultimately, embracing the process of letting go is a powerful act of personal empowerment. It's not about relinquishing control, it's about releasing what no longer serves you and making space for what is meant to come. It is a process of reclaiming your own strength, your own happiness, and your own sense of purpose. Letting go may be difficult, but it is also one of the most transformative and liberating things you can do for yourself. It frees you to grow, heal, and create the life that is truly yours. Moving forward with resilience is a crucial step when detaching from someone without losing yourself. While letting go and detachment are essential, they can often leave a person feeling vulnerable, unsure, or even afraid of what lies ahead. The key to overcoming this fear and uncertainty is resilience. Resilience is the ability to adapt to adversity, bounce back from challenges, and continue moving forward even when things feel difficult. When you develop resilience, you not only survive detachment, but you also emerge from it stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle life's challenges. One of the first aspects of moving forward with resilience is accepting that setbacks and challenges are a natural part of life. No matter how strong we are or how well we prepare, life will always present difficulties. Detaching from someone, especially someone who has been a significant part of your life, can create emotional pain, confusion, and even a sense of loss. However, resilience involves accepting that pain is a part of the healing process, not something to avoid. By acknowledging that difficult emotions are normal, you can approach them with the understanding that they will eventually subside and give way to growth. This mindset shift allows you to face challenges with a sense of confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. A key component of resilience is the ability to focus on what you can control. When we go through detachment, it's easy to feel helpless or overwhelmed, especially if the situation feels beyond our control. However, resilience thrives when we focus on what we can influence. Instead of fixating on the things that are outside of your control, such as the actions or decisions of others, direct your energy toward your own responses, actions, and choices. For example, you can control how you spend your time, who you choose to surround yourself with, and how you nurture your own well-being. Focusing on what you can control gives you a sense of agency and empowers you to take proactive steps toward your own healing and growth. Another vital aspect of resilience is maintaining a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. This doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending everything is okay when it's not, but it involves intentionally focusing on the possibilities and opportunities that lie ahead. Maintaining a positive mindset helps you reframe difficult situations as temporary and surmountable rather than as permanent or insurmountable obstacles. Resilient people view challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as roadblocks that prevent progress. By shifting your perspective, you can see detachment not as the end of something, but as the beginning of a new chapter filled with potential. This mindset shift allows you to move forward with hope, confidence, and excitement for the future. Another essential aspect of moving forward with resilience is self-compassion. When we are faced with emotional challenges like detachment, it's easy to be hard on ourselves. We may criticize ourselves for feeling sad, confused, or even guilty. However, practicing self-compassion is essential for building resilience. Self-compassion means treating yourself with kindness and understanding during difficult times rather than judging yourself for experiencing emotional pain. It involves recognizing that you are human, that everyone faces challenges, and that it's okay to not have all the answers right away. When you treat yourself with compassion, you create an environment where healing and growth can take place. It allows you to be patient with yourself and gives you the space to recover and rebuild without unnecessary pressure or self-criticism. One of the most powerful ways to build resilience is by developing a strong support system. While it's important to learn to rely on your own inner strength, resilience is often bolstered by the support of others. Having people you can trust and lean on during difficult times can make a significant difference in how well you cope with detachment. Supportive friends, family members, or even a therapist can provide the emotional safety, encouragement, and perspective you need to navigate the process of letting go. They remind you that you're not alone and that your pain will eventually ease. They also provide valuable insights and advice that can help you gain clarity and stay focused on your goals. Building and nurturing a support network during difficult times is a cornerstone of resilience. It's a reminder that even in moments of isolation, you have people who care about you and are there to lift you up when needed. Resilience also involves cultivating a sense of purpose and direction. After detaching from someone, you may find yourself at a crossroads, unsure of what to do next or how to move forward. This is where resilience comes into play. Instead of staying stuck in uncertainty, use this time to reconnect with your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Moving forward with resilience means rediscovering what brings you joy and fulfillment and pursuing those things with passion and determination. Whether it's focusing on personal development, pursuing new career opportunities, or exploring creative endeavors, having a clear sense of purpose helps you stay motivated and forward-focused. Resilience flourishes when you have something to work toward, something that gives you meaning and direction in your life. By focusing on your goals and taking consistent action toward them, you create momentum that propels you forward and strengthens your resolve. Another key factor in resilience is self-reflection and growth. When you detach from someone, it's an opportunity to pause, reflect, and learn from the experience. Instead of simply moving on without examining what happened, take time to reflect on the relationship, the lessons you've learned, and how you can use that knowledge to grow. This reflection can involve asking yourself questions such as, what did I learn about myself in this relationship? How can I improve my future relationships? What strengths did I discover within myself during this process? By engaging in self-reflection, you not only gain clarity, but also increase your emotional intelligence, which is crucial for navigating future challenges. Growth is an inherent part of resilience. The more you reflect on your experiences, the more you understand yourself and the world around you, which helps you respond to future challenges with greater wisdom and confidence. Building resilience also means learning how to manage stress and emotional turmoil effectively. Detachment can be overwhelming, and it's important to have strategies in place to manage the emotions and stress that arise. This might include practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, or simply taking time to relax and unwind. Managing stress in healthy ways ensures that you don't become overwhelmed by your emotions and that you can approach each day with a clear mind and a steady heart. Resilience is not about avoiding stress, but about learning how to handle it in a way that prevents it from consuming you. By developing healthy coping mechanisms, you build emotional strength that will serve you well throughout the detachment process and beyond. Finally, resilience involves embracing the uncertainty of the future with openness and optimism. Detaching from someone often leaves us with a sense of the unknown, and that uncertainty can feel uncomfortable or intimidating. However, resilience is about learning to embrace that uncertainty as a natural part of life. When you let go of the need for control and allow yourself to trust the process, you create the space for new opportunities to emerge. The future may not be predictable, but it is filled with possibility. Resilient people approach the future with an open heart and a belief that no matter what happens, they have the strength and adaptability to navigate it. By embracing uncertainty, you allow yourself to stay open to new experiences and possibilities that can lead to personal growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, moving forward with resilience is about developing the inner strength, emotional intelligence, and mindset necessary to thrive after detachment. It's about accepting challenges as opportunities for growth, trusting yourself in the process, and remaining committed to your own well-being. When you embrace resilience, you create the foundation for a stronger, more empowered version of yourself, one that can handle whatever life throws your way with grace, courage, and determination. Resilience allows you to emerge from the detachment process not as a victim of circumstance, but as someone who has learned, grown, and become stronger in the face of adversity. It's a powerful tool that enables you to move forward, rebuild, and create a life that reflects your true potential. Self-care and healing are essential components of detaching from someone without losing yourself. When we experience emotional upheaval, whether through the end of a relationship or the need to detach from someone, it's easy to neglect our own well-being. The emotional impact of such detachment can be overwhelming, leaving us drained, confused, and lost. However, it's important to remember that self-care is not just a luxury, but a necessity during this process. It's an act of self-preservation and investment in your emotional health and the foundation for your healing journey. The first step in self-care and healing is to acknowledge the pain. Detaching from someone you care about or have been emotionally involved with is never easy, and it's normal to feel a range of emotions: sadness, anger, confusion, guilt, and even relief. Many people resist feeling these emotions because they seem uncomfortable or painful. However, allowing yourself to feel the full spectrum of emotions is an important part of the healing process. When you suppress your emotions or try to avoid them, you prolong the suffering and hinder your ability to heal. Emotions are not something to be ashamed of. They are a natural response to life's challenges. By giving yourself permission to feel, you create space for emotional healing and growth. This acceptance is the first step in moving forward without losing yourself. Once you've acknowledged your emotions, the next crucial step is to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and care that you would offer to a close friend who is going through a tough time. This is especially important after detaching from someone, as it's easy to slip into self-criticism or self-blame. You may question your decisions, doubt yourself, or feel unworthy of love or happiness. However, practicing self-compassion involves recognizing that you, like everyone else, are human and deserving of understanding, forgiveness, and care. You are not a failure because you've had to detach from someone. You are doing the best you can in a difficult situation. Remind yourself that healing takes time and that it's okay to be imperfect. By showing yourself compassion, you create an environment where healing can take place. Another important aspect of self-care during detachment is focusing on your physical well-being. Emotional pain can take a physical toll on the body, leading to fatigue, headaches, muscle tension, and even weakened immune function. Therefore, taking care of your body is essential for both emotional and physical healing. Prioritize getting enough rest, eating nutritious meals, staying hydrated, engaging in physical activity. Exercise in particular is a powerful tool for releasing pent-up emotions, reducing stress, and boosting your mood. Whether it's going for a walk, practicing yoga, or engaging in more intense workouts, physical movement helps to release the negative energy and tension that accumulate during emotionally difficult times. Exercise also stimulates the release of endorphins, the body's natural mood boosters, which can help you feel more positive and resilient. In addition to physical self-care, it's important to take care of your mental health. Detaching from someone can leave you feeling mentally drained, anxious, or uncertain about the future. Engaging in practices that promote mental well-being can help calm your mind and bring clarity. Meditation, mindfulness, and deep breathing exercises are excellent tools for managing stress and emotional turmoil. These practices allow you to slow down, focus on the present moment, and release any negative or intrusive thoughts. Journaling is another helpful practice that can support mental health during detachment. Writing down your thoughts and feelings allows you to process and release them, gaining insight into your emotional state and tracking your progress over time. Reflecting on your journey through journaling also helps you understand your own needs, desires, and aspirations, giving you clarity as you heal. Creating a sense of structure and routine in your day can also provide stability during a period of emotional upheaval. When you're detaching from someone, the days can often feel uncertain, and you may struggle to stay focused or motivated. A daily routine can bring a sense of normalcy, reduce anxiety, and create a sense of accomplishment. Start with small tasks like making your bed, preparing meals, or setting aside time for exercise. Having a routine gives you a sense of control and helps you regain a feeling of stability when everything else seems in flux. As you continue to take small, positive actions each day, you will start to feel more empowered and capable of moving forward with your life. Another important aspect of self-care is setting healthy boundaries. When you detach from someone, it's essential to establish boundaries that protect your emotional and mental well-being. This might involve limiting or cutting off contact with the person, avoiding situations that trigger negative emotions, or taking time for yourself to recharge and reflect. Setting boundaries is not about punishing the other person, it's about protecting your space and energy so you can heal and grow. Boundaries are an act of self-respect and self-preservation. They allow you to prioritize your own needs without feeling guilty or responsible for the other person's feelings. Boundaries help you maintain emotional balance and create a safe environment for yourself to recover and thrive. In addition to boundaries, creating emotional distance is essential for healing. This means stepping back from the emotional entanglements of the past relationship and focusing on your own growth and well-being. Emotional distance doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, rather. It's about detaching from the emotional drama and negativity that may have existed in the relationship. By creating emotional distance, you give yourself the space to process your feelings without being constantly triggered by the presence or actions of the other person. It allows you to regain your sense of self and move forward with a clearer, more focused mindset. Another crucial element of self-care is seeking support from others. While it's important to cultivate independence during the detachment process, it's also essential to reach out for support when needed. This could mean talking to a trusted friend, seeking therapy, or joining a support group. Sharing your feelings and experiences with others can provide comfort, validation, and perspective. Support systems remind you that you are not alone in your journey, and they can offer advice, encouragement, and emotional support when you need it most. The process of healing is rarely linear, and having people around you who understand and care for you can make the journey much more manageable. It's also important to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. After detaching from someone, it's easy to fall into a negative mindset, focusing on what's been lost or what's wrong. However, healing requires you to reconnect with things that make you feel happy and alive. Whether it's engaging in a hobby, traveling, spending time with loved ones, or exploring new interests, doing things that bring you joy is vital for your healing process. These activities remind you that there is life beyond the relationship and that you have the power to create new and fulfilling experiences for yourself. Finally, give yourself permission to grieve. Detaching from someone often involves a sense of loss, and grieving that loss is a natural part of the healing process. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, the frustration, and the sense of loss that comes with letting go of someone who was once a significant part of your life. Grief is not something to rush through or avoid. It is a necessary part of processing the end of a relationship. By honoring your grief, you give yourself the opportunity to fully heal and release any lingering emotional attachments. In conclusion, self-care and healing are vital when detaching from someone without losing yourself. By acknowledging your emotions, practicing self-compassion, taking care of your physical and mental health, setting boundaries, and seeking support, you create the foundation for your emotional recovery. Healing is a process, and it requires time, patience, and effort. However, by prioritizing self-care, you empower yourself to move forward with greater strength, clarity, and resilience. Through this process, you can emerge not only free from the person you've detached from, but also more connected to your true self. As you stand at the threshold of your healing journey, remember that detaching from someone doesn't mean losing a part of yourself. In fact, it's the ultimate act of self-love and self-preservation. It is the moment you reclaim your power, your peace, and your ability to thrive. You are not defined by anyone else's presence or absence in your life. You are defined by your ability to choose what's best for you, to prioritize your happiness, and to stand strong in the face of challenges. In this process, you may face moments of doubt, sadness, and uncertainty, but never forget that each step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Healing is not linear, and there's no perfect timeline. There will be days where the weight feels heavier and others where you feel lighter. But know this: every emotion you experience, every boundary you set, and every moment you dedicate to your self-care is a step towards the life you deserve. You are rebuilding, not just detaching, and every part of this journey is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more compassionate version of yourself. As you move forward, embrace your growth, celebrate your resilience, and trust that the best is yet to come. Detachment is not about erasing the past, but about creating space for a future filled with possibility, peace, and purpose. Let go of what no longer serves you and make room for the person you are becoming. You are worthy of love, joy, and fulfillment, not dependent on others, but rooted in the unshakable foundation you've built within yourself. The power to heal, to thrive, and to become the best version of yourself has always been within you. Now it's time to rise.